Welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Tommy Grisafi. July 1st is here and the markets are now open. We're going to head right to the Board of Trade. At least I call it the Board of Trade still. Board of Trade / CME Group. Let's look at corn. SEP corn 407 down a half. That's a lot better than the last segment. Down 1 now. Dees corn 419 3/4 down 1 penny. Seeing lots of volatility in the grain market. We opened lower, rallying a little bit in the corn. Let's move over to soybeans here. This might make people feel a little better. Of course, we have those analogs saying that when we close down hard on a Friday of the USDA, we tend to go that way. We'll see if we could break that trend. SEP soybeans 10.97 down 3. Nova soybeans $11 down 3 3/4 of a cent. Moving over to wheat. First, we head to Chicago. Oh, I think you'll like this. Board of Trade wheat. SEP wheat 583 3/4 up 10. Dees wheat 606 up 8.5. That's the Chicago wheat. Moving over to KC. Let's see what we have. SEP 592 up 5 3/4. Dees wheat 608 up 4 3/4 cents. Head up to the great state of North Dakota and Minnesota. Up north, SEP spring wheat 619.5 up 6.5. Looking at Dees wheat 638.5 up 6 cents. Last but not least, let's go to cotton. Cotton 72.42 up 44. Dees cotton 73.32 up 63. Well, let's bring him in the show. Dewey Strickler. Dewey coming into us live from Kentucky. I'm spending a lot more time in Kentucky visiting my daughter at the great University of Kentucky. I'm sure you have some stories about UK, and I know you guys love the sports down there. A lot of blue when you head into Kentucky.
Yeah, the old saying is, if you went to University of Kentucky, you bleed blue, and that's true.
Well, the thing that's bleeding blue right now is my wallet, Dewey. Let's get these markets going the right way. And, producers watching, the right way to them is up. Obviously, it's a futures market. Some people buy, some people sell. Some people enjoy down days. I imagine most people you work with are cheering for higher prices. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're cheering for higher prices, but in this business here, you have to be patient. The bearish reports that we had Friday are still lingering here. The funds, they really added on some pretty impressive short positions, especially in corn and in beans. But when you look at where the patterns are in these markets right now and where some of these momentum indicators are, we got a lot of the bearish news already priced in the market. And when you get corn down around $4, you got to ask yourself, especially if you're a trader, do you really want to sell down in here, or is the risk too great?
Yeah, that's a great point. And I have a seat at the Board of Trade, and I've been telling people, although the market's going down, I'd feel better going home long. Although that's the wrong trade right now, but we trade down like this, and those funds are short if and when, and they always do cover, we could see a vicious rally. We're not seeing it now. The weather looks a little tame going home into, I say the weekend already, because we're going to have the 4th of July break. I understand you in Kentucky had some nice showers, and as we talked off air, you're always 2 weeks away from a drought. Tell us about the Kentucky weather, Dewey.
Well, the Kentucky weather, we've had it pretty hot. We usually get some of the rains from the south, from the Gulf there, and we missed out for a couple of weeks there, but we finally got some last week and really made a big impact, looks like. But getting back to what we were talking about on the funds there, you look at the commitment of traders report, the commercial accounts have gone long on corn and beans to an extent, which means they're not getting the grain. So they'll buy futures until they shake something loose.
Sounds good, Dewey. We're going to take a little commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk livestock with Dewey Strickler, Franklin, Kentucky. The Market Day Report comes back shortly. Welcome back to Market Day Report. Well, it's the first of the month. Let's see if those funds are doing anything. Let's see if any hedgers are out there when we talk live cattle. We'll hop right to the October live cattle. 184 even, down 90. Cattle starting the month a little lower. December live cattle, 185.45, down 45. Interesting quotes there as all this new money is swooshing around. Feeder cattle. Are feeders the leaders? Not today. August feeders, 258.20, down 110. SEP feeders, 258.62, down $1. Let's see if hogs can get it done as we talk bacon over here. I'm old enough to remember when they had that contract. August hogs, 90.95, up 145. Ock hogs, 76.47, up 75. Deese hogs, 69.95. Tough to see a 6 in front of Deese hogs, but I bet you our guest, Dewey, tell us about the meat complex and what you're seeing from your end, sir.
Well, the cattle market looks pretty toppy right now. The thing that I noticed last week, corn took a big shellacking, but when you look at the feeder cattle, they didn't really respond to that. So I think, you're looking at producers now are being a little more conservative about buying the feeders here. Hog market looks like it's trying to bottom. I don't know that we're quite there yet. I have one pattern that shows that we might make one more low before we see a bottom in the hogs. I think the thing you have to look at the meats, and that is once the 4th of July holiday passes this week, what are the retailers going to do? Are they going to restock here or what?
Dewey, that sounds great. I know I'm going to do my part here this 4th of July holiday. I plan on consuming a little of each of those, so should be fun. Well, Dewey, thanks for joining us. Dewey Strickler, Ag Watch Market Advisories. Suzanne, back to you.
Thank you, Tommy. We're talking about this really being a short week. It's kind of weird on the markets, right? Having that Thursday off of 4th and then coming back on Friday. I'm sure a lot of traders, though, probably take that Friday off.
Yeah, well, there's a couple people. There's people who want to take the week off and hope the markets don't move. And then there's people who are going to be called back to work because the markets do move. Risk doesn't email you before it happens, Suzanne.
You always have some great one-liners. By the way, I'm sure your beautiful wife, Gina, waiting for you to come home to get back onto that grill and do some cooking, huh?
Oh, just yes. Yes. I'll just answer
Gina
yes.
says
Good answer.
Okay, all right.
Gina's watching.
She's
Thank
watching.
you.
We say hi to Gina. Thank you, Tommy. Great stuff as always.